So, Jake Paul is out here celebrating after canceling what would have been the biggest fight of his career. And it's got the entire fight world buzzing. The YouTuber turned boxer just pulled a fast one by backing out of his mega fight with Mike Tyson. I mean, come on. Athletes would give anything to have Tyson's name on their resume. And Jake just tossed that chance away like it was nothing, even when it was practically handed to him on a silver platter. The worst part, he's partying like it's 1999, with videos of him looking drunk as a sailor all over social media. This was a massive letdown for boxing fans. And let's be honest, probably a big hit to Jake Paul's bank account too. The fact that the problem child is living it up instead of focusing on setting up another $1 million fight isn't sitting well with any of us. Let's break it down. Let's be real for a second. Jake Paul just canceled the fight of his dreams, a showdown with none other than Mike Tyson, the legendary Iron Man. The two heavyweight titans were set to square off on November 15, 2024, at the AT&T Arena in what was hyped as the biggest boxing event of the year. This was supposed to be Jake's moment, his chance to prove he's more than just a social media sensation, a legitimate boxer. And what does he do? He pulls the plug and then hits the town like it's New Year's Eve. The boxing world is in shock. Fans are furious, while Jake seems to be living his best life. Sure, he's young and wants to have fun, but this is on another level. It's like he's mocking the sport, mocking the fans. And let's not even get started on those party pics. He looks like a man on a mission. Celebrating after a win is one thing, but partying after pulling out of a fight with Mike Tyson, something's seriously off here. There have been videos of Jake stumbling out of clubs, looking more like a lost college kid than a professional athlete. It's concerning, to say the least. It's not just the timing of his partying that's raising eyebrows, it's the scale of it. We're talking high-end clubs, lavish parties, and celebrity-studded events, the kind you usually see after a huge victory, not after canceling a mega fight. It's like he's trying to drown his sorrows in champagne and caviar. Now let's talk about why Jake canceled the fight. Did something go wrong in the final negotiations, or is he just dealing with pre-fight jitters? Let's be real, this fight has been in the works since January. We're talking months of planning, contracts signed, and millions of dollars on the line. There's no way negotiations suddenly fell apart. Something else is going on here. Initially, this fight was set for July 20th, but Tyson pulled out at the last minute, citing a medical emergency. Mike's health has been jeopardizing this matchup for a while now. The boxing legend suffered an ulcer flare-up during a cross-country flight from Miami to Los Angeles, which led to the fight's postponement in the first place. But Tyson assured fans it wouldn't affect the fight, promising to finish Jake in the ring. Then, just 3 days later, he called off the whole event. What's really going on here? I want to thank my fans around the world for their support and understanding during this time. Unfortunately, due to my ulcer flare-up, I have been advised by my doctor to lighten my training for a few weeks to rest and recover. My body is in better overall shape than it has been since the 1990s, and I will be back to my full training schedule. Soon, Jake Paul, this may have bought you some time, but in the end, you will still be knocked out and out of boxing for good. I appreciate everyone's patience and can't wait to deliver an unforgettable performance later this year. Now, ulcers are no joke, but the timing seems a bit too convenient, don't you think? Especially since Jake wasted no time finding a replacement for Mike Tyson and locking in a new opponent. It's almost as if this backup plan had been in the works for a while. When fans started raising questions, Jake quickly stepped in to fight Mike Perry on the same date in Tampa, Florida, knocking him out in the 6th round. So now he's got a fresh KO victory to celebrate. But he's already done more than enough celebrating for what many are calling an orchestrated win. Let's just say some of those parties might have cost him more than he bargained for, potentially even his relationship with Judalirdum. He's been partying like there's no tomorrow, with little regard for his relationships or his career. Stepping into the ring with Mike Tyson is intimidating, so it's possible Jake decided to take an easy way out, using Mike's health as an excuse. The problem child claimed he didn't want to risk Tyson's health by fighting him, but I don't know about you. I'm not buying it. Just a few weeks ago, Jake was calling Mike a sick chicken and promising to end him in the ring, and now suddenly he's concerned for Tyson's well-being. Something doesn't add up. Fans are starting to smell a rat with this whole health scare excuse for canceling the fight. We all heard about Tyson's ulcer and the in-flight incident, but is that really enough to stop Iron Mike? The whole situation reeks of cold feet. Tyson himself assured fans he was good to go, only for the fight to vanish a few days later. Mike even revealed that he'd bounced back and was ready to send Jake crashing onto the canvas, no matter what the fight date was. Jake might have treated this matchup like a walk in the park, but it seems he finally realized who he was up against, the baddest man on the planet. This is the fighter who once bit off an ear in the ring. Even at 58, Mike's still a beast, and facing him would send shivers down anyone's spine.
Same date, same fate. I'm gonna knock out JakePaul.
The fight world had been warning JakePaul to think twice about this matchup, and when he finally did, he decided to run as far away as possible, drowning it all out with a bottle of champagne. You don't just wake up one day and decide you're ready to step into the ring with Mike Tyson, especially when you're JakePaul, with only a few years of boxing under your belt. This announcement sent shockwaves through the entire fight community, and if you weren't already skeptical of JakePaul, this fight announcement probably changed your mind. Don't get me wrong, the kid is a decent boxer, but knocking out a few retired MMA stars and basketball players doesn't qualify you to challenge the baddest man on the planet. The problem child really bit off more than he could chew with this one, and that's why Joe Rogan had been shouting from the rooftops that this matchup was nothing but a terrible mistake. Now let's talk about JakePaul's ego. After knocking out Mike Perry, the guy was walking around like he invented boxing, thinking he was the next Muhammad Ali. Sure, the former Disney kid picked up a 6th-round KO win against Perry on July 20th, but let's be real, Mike Perry is not exactly a boxing legend. It was like picking on a little kid, and the boxing world wasn't impressed. Legends like Oscar de la Hoya have called JakePaul a circus act, and boxing promoter Eddie Hearn criticized him for lacking real boxing skills. It's like everyone slapped him in the face with reality, and this has got to be messing with Jake's head, especially when considering the fight with Mike Tyson. Tyson is a different breed altogether. We're talking about a guy who became the youngest heavyweight champion in history, and knockout machine who dominated the ring for years. Tyson is a force of nature, and JakePaul going up against him is like a chihuahua trying to fight a lion. I think Jake's starting to realize that maybe, just maybe, he's taken on more than he can handle. But you know Jake, even after canceling this mega fight, he's trying hard to stay in the spotlight. It's like he's actively crafting this bad boy persona. Between the partying, the trash talk, and now the whole Mike Tyson situation, it's clear he's playing a character. We've seen this movie before, fight fans. Conor McGregor was once the biggest star in MMA. He climbed from the depths of poverty to the pinnacle of combat sports, becoming one of the biggest pay-per-view stars. Sound familiar? His fights were must-watch TV, and he could talk trash like nobody's business, backing it up in the cage. Remember that iconic knockout over Jose Aldo, or that epic battle with Nate Diaz? The world was at his feet, but then came the injuries, and with them, a downward spiral. Instead of focusing on recovery, Conor became more interested in partying, promoting his whiskey brand, and getting into trouble. We saw him everywhere, clubs, bars, even brawling with fans. Conor stirred the pot to stay in the spotlight, and let's just say it didn't end well. It's like he traded his fighting gloves for a bottle of whiskey, and in the end, the UFC lost its biggest star, and the sport suffered. Now, I'm not saying Jake Paul is Conor McGregor, but there are some serious similarities. Jake isn't a champion or a legend, but he has built a pretty solid career in boxing for someone who started out as a YouTuber and Disney star. He's picked up KO wins and is successfully selling million-dollar fights. It would be a shock to see him lose his place in the fight world. Love him or hate him, you can't deny that he's making waves. So, there you have it, fight fans. What are your thoughts on Jake partying his career away? Be sure to fill the comment section with your opinions. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more boxing news. See you in the next video.